I don't see anything popped up yet.
Yeah, me neither. It's sending data.
Oh. I was going to say next, watch it vice versa. It's actually on Twitch and not YouTube. Honestly, I'm glad I would more like it to be on YouTube than Twitch because Twitch doesn't save the full broadcasts.
All right, Jared, I think we're streaming. I see the little green thing saying streaming.
I'm still waiting.
Okay, yeah, I think
there we go.
Yeah, I think we're live. Well, hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me and Jared here on this beautiful Monday. We're racing here at Kentucky Speedway. This was 3 weeks ago now for all our viewers out there. But Jared, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing, the replay started here. I think our pace car is down the backstretch, I believe. So we'll see exactly where these guys are as we get. Okay, yeah. So Jared, they had this is the first dual race. We got 2 dual races here. This is the first group, and then we got a second group. They're going to be 15 lap duels, and then that's going to determine the qualifying order, and then we will have the main event, Jared. So they're talking about, Jared, I think you guys won, not think, you guys did win the 24-hour Daytona on your guys' stint, so congratulations to that. But that pace car is headed down the track, Jared, as we get ready to see this first dual race, and David Owens is bringing them to the start-finish line here. They're going to be starting off the green flag. All right, Jared, they hit the Geico restart zone. David Owens brings them back, and the way he goes is he gets a good jump over Joseph Fulpus in the 13.
Yeah, tire wear won't be a huge thing on this on these heat races, so they'll be trying to go as fast as they can. Then you may see some aggressive moves as the points don't pay out here, but you want to try and qualify best you can for that feature.
Just a little bit. You can push it a little too hard maybe at the very beginning and maybe get out. I think here we're going to see some of the comers and goers are just something to keep in mind here as the race continues on in the main event later on today.
David Owens out to a nice lead, single file throughout the pack, it looks like, until we get to about Nick Mills there in 9th place. It looks like they're a little too wide right back there, but kind of orderly with 13 laps left to go. Does look like the number 31 of Kevin Kyle up a little high there through 1 and 2, but he's going to dive below David Brenner in the 22 Puma Motorsports car, with his teammate Chris Morrill right behind him.
Yeah, got quite a little bit of a pack there, about 4 of the 5 cars there, all battling out there for 5th place. 4th place is David Brenner in, so that's the pack leading that group. Up front, though, like you said, Jared, you have Owens, Joseph Fulpus, Sean Jesnick up in the top 3 right now. And speaking of Jesnick, he just ran the fastest lap right now with I think that's a 29.9 from old Jesnick there.
Yeah, Sean Jesnick ran in the iRacing College Series there for a little bit. I think he's still participating in it. I don't know for sure, but he can drive the wheels off of a NAS truck, as some people like to call them.
I'm clicking the wrong people over here. Aren't in the race. Let's see, got some good
battles. 3 wide between Brenner. Low rub. That's those moves that I was talking about. People on fresh tires, basically in a last 15 lap shootout. Yeah, have some bold moves.
Yeah, I missed a little bit of that beginning there, Jared. The damn TV was on the looking on cars that weren't there, so my apologies there for missing it. But we do got a battle heating up here between the 55 and the 31. I think the 31 did put in a changed number, so you might see later on in other races as the number 1. It's number 1 in my own group.
Well, I think the 55 and 31, those guys are good buds. Hopefully, nothing bad happens to ruin that friendship.
No, I don't think anything between those two.
Hey now.
All right, looks like Chris Morrow though is broken away from this pack. Keeping an eye on right now as the top three are still running single file. Oh, we got the car loose up into the wall. Looks like he's able to save it, keep green flag racing as he's in the infield grass right now.
Yeah, I think that is Jeff Pfeiffer, number 50 or 85. But I think he's gone into the pit. No, he's still on track. He's in turn 2 right now. So we're still green. 8 to go, coming to 7 to go here. The second pack it's a mess back here. No room for error, but there is a 3-way battle happening up front. Joe Volpa's there in the number 13, trying to hold off Sean Jensick, the number 19, or the 29. Car shows the 19.
Yeah, I think
we'll get used to it.
A little off. Yeah, Jared, we'll have to try to catch up and do a better job. I know I've just been super busy, but we're glad to be back here for the crew. So, but sorry about any of the paint jobs that get changed on those. We are, yeah, but I think we're week 3 already in real life, real time, Jared. But this is week 1, the season opener that we're playing right now for everybody.
Sean Jensick looking to the inside there on the bottom. Joe Volpes has that middle lane, just has a little bit more momentum on exit. Sean not able to clear him. Further back, Kevin Kyle on the outside of Mark Dumont. Another Canadian in number 14, but our timing tower shows him as the 868. So looks like the 14 got a little tight there going through 3 and 4. Had to fall back a few positions.
Yeah, it looks like he got a little, took that entry, that last entry a little too hot. Might have had to let off and get control of that car as he's now going to lose their spot there to Kyle Anott on the 988. Kyle's going to look to take over position number 9 over Dumont there. Got David Brenner looking to make it 3 wide between Chris Morrill and Jared Kelly as these 4 are back together again. Looks like the 31's going to try to give a push to the 5 coming into turn 1.
Yeah, this is great racing from heat race number 1. Leader's going to come up here with 2 to go, so it is definitely crunch time. Now this will set up the inside row for the main event. Second heat will set up the outside row, which is, I believe, a new qualifying format that NASCAR is going to start this year. Top 10 still going to have that last top 10 shootout, but everybody outside the top 10, they're going to have that inside and outside, depending on what group they're in.
So Owens is going to be bringing it in. Jerry's got one more lap.
Yeah, the white flag this time by. So any spots you can get, time to take them. As David has almost a second lead over Sean Jensick, and Jensick having almost a 8/10 of a second gap over Joe Volpes, but for 4th place, it's going to be a brawl between these 2 buddies.
And then the 5 and the 22 also battling out there right behind Nick Mills. Smurl's going to try to get a run on the outside of Brenner.
To the line, top 3 stay the same. Kevin Kyle able to edge out the 55. Nick Mills going up to 6th. Smorl 7th. Brenner falling back to 8th. Kyle Anott 9th, and Sam Milliken in 10th. And now it's time for the second heat race.
That's right, Jared. So we got our other half of our field getting ready to get lined up here, Jared. Let me know if you see anyone lining up here. I think it might be
Jason Landry, Matt Schofield.
All right.
Dave Medina, I think, is on
I
our
like
pole.
a little bit. All right, turn it up there, audience. Thanks for checking in on me on the video, and then just let me know on the. Looks like our video quality's not choppy this time, so I think we might be good on the video also. So yeah, you guys see anything wrong with the stream? Just go ahead and put it in chat, and I have it up. I should be able to keep an eye on the chat. So appreciate that from you guys out there.
But we are already rolling for this second heat race.
Oh, thank you, Jared.
Dave Medina leading us off the pole here, picking up where he left off last season, being one of the most dominant cars. Him and Jason Landry kind of running off with the season last year. But
wow.
Jason Landry in that third spot.
Well, just the audacity of David Medina Sr. to have the 2 Cup champion wins on the back bumper of that number 9 Ford Dark Horse Mustang. I mean, he is just rubbing it in everybody's faces this season, so we'll have to see how that turns out. But speaking of rubbing things in people's faces, let's take a look at Landry's Toyota. I think he might have had an updated paint job on the front end of this car. I got to see if we can get the right camera.
The rear chase.
Rear chase, yeah, I'll get there one day. Oh, there it is. Yep, I thought I saw that at Sonoma. He updated it. Can't be left out of the champion stuff. So way to go there, Landry, on his commemorative paint scheme. As we get ready to go green flag racing for the second duel.
Kevin Bullock up there in fourth, and Matt Schofield on the outside pole. Great to see that 61 car able to start on this front row, show some speed.
Yeah, and a nice looking Camry there, that new updated paint job. So we'll see what these new Camrys got in store for us here as they get ready to hit the Geico restart zone, Jared, and away David Medina goes.
Matt Schofield, I don't think he's quite used to the restart zone.
Nope, I think he had a little too many Bud Lights there with the sponsorships this morning before the race, Jared, because he's looking a little hungover there off the restart.
Yeah, the first 4 in that inside line, now 5 able to just take off the whole outside lane at a huge disadvantage. Nothing that Matt did wrong, just had to didn't want to speed one to follow what his screen was telling him, and that's okay. Don't want any black flags here.
Jackson Ball having a let up there off the 50. Jack's gotten there a little hot and had to back on off of that to hit that number 50. And we got the 77 of Jake Shea running in P4 right now.
Yeah, and that Hoonigan paint scheme, great to see it.
I do like it. I do like that scheme.
Sounds like there is some contact there, but we stay green this time.
Yeah, that's the 91 of Meyer. He's 3 wide right now between Justin Malarkey and Brandon Shelton. They get it straightened out. And gonna have to get reset to take over get another run here on the 91.
Brandon, that Tito's Chevrolet. He loves talking about the performance of that bow tie on the front of his car. See if he can represent the company today, show some speed. But right now, the blue oval out front with David Medina. I gotta tell you, Kevin, these new updated cars, the Dark Horse and the Camrys, are looking sharp with these bonfire paint schemes on.
They sure do, Jared. I don't know. I'm not a Toyota guy per se, but I do like the Camrys for some reason. They just, I don't know, something about them.
I think your opinion might change if one of them hits you in the rear end.
Yeah, well, I think everyone that runs Toyotas is usually in front of me, so I don't have to worry about it.
Well, I'm talking about when you get lapped.
Oh, thank you. Just rubbing it in.
I'm not saying that.
David's still out to lead there. Looks like Jack Zavaldo is losing a little bit of ground to Jake. Jake's trying to find a way around the ball.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Duvall just doesn't quite have the sweet spot. You got to lift going into turn 1, and I don't think he's found the sweet spot yet. But he's able to hold off that 77. But this track's going to develop more laps put down, and it'll probably be pretty rubbered in once we get to that main event.
Yeah, so what's been nice about the new update, Jared, is the new track conditions and the updates really, you know, it is there. You can see the track darting up, especially from the shot from the blimp. You can see how that inside line's a little bit darker than the outer 2 lanes and so forth. So just keep an eye on it after the race progresses, and maybe get a good idea here at the end of the main event. This is one of the longest races in the season. Oh, and look out, here comes our last 5 lap average here, sponsored by FarmersOnly.com, making its inaugural appearance as they are the sponsors of the last 5 laps average. Just remember, folks, you don't have to be lonely at FarmersOnly.com. Big shout out to them, so thank you for sponsoring lap 5 laps average. And you out there watching could be the next sponsorship of the Jared and Kevin show.
Yeah, hopefully we don't go to initials and abbreviate our show, because that'll just be the Just Kidding show. I know it's taking you a while to process that.
Oh, we got someone loose there. Looks like Dennis Puckett maybe might have got loose. I saw some Takis flying out on the track as he's battling out between Matt Schofield and the Dennis Puckett here in the hot Takis. I don't know what goes better together, Jared, than Bud Light and some Takis. So those two running together does make a perfect combination. As you can see the back end of that 12 get a little loose there, as Dennis has got his hands full, not just with Takis, but with that Ford Dark Horse Mustang.
Yeah, and I was hearing it a little bit this week that maybe Takis are for girls. I think I heard that over the week. So definitely Dennis trying to reach out to the female demographic.
Yeah, that's that could be true. Also, yeah. Also, I know Takis is a breakfast choice of champions for young adults. That's what I've been hearing going around. Also, is the 5-0s trying to make a run on the outside of the 9.
Got really close to the outside wall. But he's going to have a run here going into turn 1, see where he takes it at. Coming with 4 to go.
Jared, I got him on lap 13.
Oh, spinner. Justin Malarkey going backwards down the back straightaway. He's into the fence.
That's probably going to bring out a yellow, going to bring out maybe a green-white checkered finish here for the rest of this field.
I'm not quite sure. I don't think yellow flag laps count. Maybe they do. Justin's going to continue on track.
Yeah, they're saying checking up there as the yellow flag did come out. Jared, you stay live rolling with them. I'm going to try to go back and see what exactly happened to Justin Malarkey there real quick, as we get a break in action here and see what exactly took place. Oh, it looks like it's between Kevin Bullock and the 73. These are teammates, folks. As you take a look, them coming into turn 1. Looks like Kevin's going to get a good run coming off of exit of 2. Justin starts to take that high line, and Kevin Bullock just basically gets right into the back of the 73, gets him turned around. That's between teammates. That's going to be a discussion going into the main event, but that 73 doesn't look too damaged. That crew's going to be able to get them repaired, so hopefully all is well. And Jared, I'm going to go ahead and get us fast forward. Or maybe Jared just come off of me coming down when the pace car lights come out. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, up front, Dave Medina and Jason Landry playing bumper tag. I think Jason's trying to put a couple of dents in those trophies.
Yeah, Jared, I got them coming just out of 4 right now after the bumps. Now Jack Savall getting in on the action as David's crossing the Geico restart zone, still under pace conditions. Now they're across the start-finish line. And those pace car lights are off, Jared, as they got one more time around Kentucky here to finish this dual race as they start to get lined up. All right, this should be a green-white checker to finish the second dual race to get their starting positions, and then we will have their main event. All right, Jared, they are coming into 3, making our way out of 4 here shortly. Pace car's off. Medina's going to bring him to the Geico restart zone. Start's going to be on David Medina. Whenever he wants to go within that zone, it's painted there on the track in that blue and white lettering. He takes off right away, maybe a car length into the zone as he takes off, gets that jump over the rest of the field, headed off into turn 1.
Jax Duvall getting the jump on Landry there on that start. Jason's got to battle back if he wants to start second on that outside. But here comes the number 2 of Brandon Shelton and that piggy on the rear bumper.
Oh, 97 gets up high, gets in front of Meyer that was on the very high line. Meyer also gets up in a wall further back in the field as 5-0 now looks underneath of Jax Duvall.
White flag up in the air. This is the final lap. Whatever happens now is official for the heat race. They don't want to tear up those cars because they got to take that to the main event. Jason does get in front of Jax Duvall. Going into turn 2, it's smooth sailing for David Medina. He's going to start on that outside pole position. Starting into the crown jewel at Kentucky. Checker flag up in the air. It's David Medina, Jason Landry, Jax Duvall, Brandon Shelton, and I believe newcomer Richard Leclerc in that 5th position.
Yes, sir, Jared. All right.
And now,
yep,
it's time for the main event.
That's it, Jared. And let me see exactly how many laps we have in store for today.
165.
All right.
Sounds like more jokes going on over the Daytona 24 weekend. Going back 3 weeks now.
Yeah, Jared, who was all part of that team for you guys that were able to take home the victory there in your stint?
Well, the winning team was David Owens, who's our pole setter right now. Brandon Shelton in that 8th spot. Myself in that 9th spot. Dante Wright, who's not in this race, he's the smartest person here, and decided to go to sleep. And Joe Amano being our team strategist. And I feel like I'm missing one more. I can't. No, it was 4 of us. That's what it was. So, but yeah, I was able to start the race. Dante slept through his alarm, so I had to start the race. Luckily, I joined the session, started the race, and was able to be the one to finish it, cross start finish line in first. So, a gain of 41 spots overall, and being able to come back after being 3 laps down and winning the race was a pretty cool accomplishment. But that's not important right now. It's Bonfire Kentucky time, and that's probably more important than the Daytona 24. We don't have a Rolex, but we got bragging rights, and that's just as expensive.
All right, well, I hope everyone's settled in. Get your drinks and your popcorn ready as we get ready to go green flag racing for the most part here, hopefully, at Kentucky. Going to be under the lights here probably a little later on in the evening. But David Senior's going to bring them to the Geico restart zone. Owens is, I'm sorry, going to start us off as he takes a green flag.
Good jump there from David Owens, but he's going to have the 9 car right to his outside going into turn 1. Be interesting to see how these lines are able to progress. These are double the cars that have been on track on the first 30 lap routine. So everybody trying to get in their groove, safe tires. But they also changed the setup from the last time we were here, so basically new setups for everybody trying to see what they can get away with.
And they are spread up and down the track right now. There's some 3 wide, there's some 2 wides, 4 wides, as we all get straightened out here and try to get straightened out as the field sits single file in some spots. Other spots are still 2 wide, trying to battle for every position they can. There's the race to chase down number 11 there, David Owens. David Medina Sr. leading the charge to try to catch up to that number 11. There's a look at Joseph Volpis in the 13. David Owens, his partner in crime, as he tries to join his buddy up front. But right now he's got his hands full with Jackson Ball and Brandon Shelton to his outside. Behind them you have Jared Kelly and Jason Landry fighting it out for position right now for P7. 17, the 867 Oleg Cleric follows behind, and Nick Mills is going to be the middleman, dividing these 2 packs in half.
Jason Landry trying to make that outside line work. He's going to have forward momentum, and his pusher behind him, see if he can try and get up there and give him a good shove.
Scott taking Dylan 3 wide. You got the 97 for Stephen McComas going around the outside. Who else we got up there? Oh no, it's Stephen McComas behind the 12 right now.
But here comes Mark Dumont.
Yep,
the 14.
We'll just call him the 14.
Be interesting if they allowed you to have a letter like the short track or the grassroots racing, where you could have a letter after your name to kind of separate yourself. Cool if they could add that, but we'll make do.
Yeah, and it looks like Landry is going to get past David Medina Sr. in the 9, and now he's going to be chasing down the number 11 now. So he's on his left rear quarter fender now. Owens is going to have to take a shallow entry in the turn 1. Let's see if Jason's going to get that extra momentum on the outside line coming down the backstretch now.
Yeah, David needed to slide up there. He was clear of him, but he left the door open for Jason Landry. He's been running this top groove through 3 and 4 pretty good. Look at that forward momentum. Cleared him easily out of 4. Like David Owens got to the fence just a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear the smack, hear the thud here up in the booth.
Yeah, he's got some damage there on the right side of the race car. Hopefully that doesn't slow him down, but here comes the 9 right behind him. David pushed it a little hard there going into turn 1, trying to get away from Medina. We're starting to see these lines that are starting to move up the racetrack just a little bit, trying to find that speed.
Making the pass on Kyle Lynott there. Chris Morrill picks up another spot, and then be coming in and out P11.
Yeah, Nick saving his tires just a little bit there. He's going to make his way up onto Richard Leclerc in the 17. Still kind of single file here up front, no real good side-by-side battles.
Look like Dennis might have got on that outer wall.
I think you're right, Kev. You can see just the speed in his race car is not there. I think that right front's just a little bit overcooked. I think he's just struggling overall. Looks like David Owens gave up that second position to Medina, let him go chase down his championship rival from last season. But the guys running here in the top 3 were our championship for last year.
Pretty cool looking paint job there by Owens. That Dodge Charger look, what could have been if Dodge decided to join back in as a manufacturer. But cool looking paint job there by him, and I think we have another driver out here today driving that, Stephen McComas. I believe he's got the Dodge.
Dave Medina's tracking down that 50 car. He's separated himself from that second group, left David Owens further behind, and he's got that bunny rabbit right in front of him.
Up in a P4 now after you make that pass on Sean.
Yeah, it's always kind of weird talking about yourself in the past tense after you know what happens, or after you know what happens and what the result is. I know most guys probably watching this know who won the race and where they finished, but we're here to kind of show off the parts of the race that maybe you didn't see, maybe were behind you or in front of you, depending on how you did during the race. So yeah, we're just trying to move here. Jason Landry trying to hold off Dave Medina. He's to his inside, so that's going to slow both those cars down. We'll see if see what happens here with these two rivals going side by side coming out of two.
We're trying to get to that left rear quarter fender, put some air on the back of that spoiler, trying to side draft him in there, coming out of turn 3 and 4. Battle between David Brenner and the 17 there as he gets up in front of the 17, shuts the door on him coming out of the turn 2. But the 14, Leclerc doesn't have anything left for Brenner. As Brenner's going to go ahead and keep that gap between him and the 17 as Kyle Lynott makes the move past Brenner. Kyle Lynott's going to move up to P11.
Jax Duvall feeling a little bit of pressure there with Nick Mills right behind him and a teammate up front trying to run that top line. Maybe his teammate up front, Joe Volpis, maybe used up a little bit too much tire and struggling a little bit. But yeah, you see that blue Chevy Camaro right behind you, you know you're about to go into battle. Nick right on the rear bumper there of the Goldfish number 84. Kind of pushed him up the racetrack a little bit. Nick's gonna have a chance to get under him here. But this top 10 group is caught back up to Jason Landry and Dave Medina. Them running side by side like that, slow them both down. Justin Malarkey making the pass on Mark Dumont in that 17, all the way back there in 17th place. Probably not the start that Justin wanted to start this season.
I don't know, the way guys been running up front, really fast times, Jared, and we'll see how much they can hold on to here towards the longer this run continues on. We'll see if they've been able to take care of their tires well enough. It definitely looks like Justin has some pace now.
Back up front, there's some pressure there on that 9 car. Kind of probably got slowed up there by Jason just a little bit. Set him back. And the lights have come on here at the Kentucky Speedway. But it's 3 wide coming out of 4. Brandon Shelton in the middle.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. As David Owens, he keeps that high line moving. He's okay to let these guys get by him. It looks like he's just trying to take care of that car right now. As looks like Brandon's going to make the move past Sean. As Sean's going to drop back now to P5, maybe P6. Sean looks underneath the 55 as they almost 3 wide across start-finish line. As they try to get this situated out. You definitely can't run fast around this track 3 wide. You need to get this thing situated as the 55 almost gets up into the Mills. As Mills gives him no room for air. As Sean comes up and gets into Jared a little bit. Jared needed a place to go. And the 88 didn't give him any extra room to make that happen. But it's going to slow down the 55 as he recollects himself. He gets it back under control. Great job just getting through that little... Not sure if that was sarcastic or not from the old 11. You never tell.
I can tell you what, David's probably having more fun than the guys back there in 15th and 16th who want to be up in this top 10.
Looks like Brenner's falling back to P11 now. As he's going to rebound off that corner. Jacksonville might have had a hiccup there in the 84 as Brenner's going to take back that position as he tries to chase down 31.
And if I remember right, Kevin, when we raced this race, we didn't have these new cars. Oh, but the 31 on the outside of the 55, he got up into the fence, probably didn't like it. Oh!
Shit, I missed it.
That was a close one.
I missed it. Got the tail end of it there. Yeah, 55's just holding up traffic there, Jared. Gotta get around you. You took my high line away from me, so I had to come down and let you know I didn't like that.
Well, you also got put up into the fence. That we know how people treated Denny Hamlin after he did that to a certain person. But I mean, it's racing. You're gonna end up not liking people. You're not gonna like the stuff they do around you. It's one thing that makes the sport so great.
That is true. It's a fun to be a part of this and get to race with everyone every weekend, and definitely we all look forward to it. So good times out there.
Well, I can tell you one person who's not having fun, and that's the guy in the 55 car, almost up there battling for that second spot with Medina, and now it's fallen all the way back to P17 after that slide there across the front straightaway.
Yeah, 55 is going to be running P17 right now, just trying to collect it. Probably hoping for a caution here, just to get everything reset, get some fresh tires on that 55, but I have a feeling he'll be around in the end there as Landry's pulled over maybe 0.2 of a second now over David Medina Sr. See, we've got some more battles here. Maybe 11 and Owens, the two teammates there. Golf course Ghost Racing, 11 and 13.
Golf course racing.
Golf course racing, yes. Well, that's where they usually are during the playoffs, but not last season, Jared. David Owens brought that team a playoff berth and almost won the championship there against Jason Landry. Looks like Justin Malarkey now is making some ground up on some of these cars that might have burnt up their stuff early as he makes a pass on Jax Duvall to take over P11. Shelton's going to have some company here soon as the Owens is now rebounding. Probably saving some tire there early in the middle of that stint. That's why he fell back down, because now he's starting to have some more pace.
Yeah, I believe right now Nick Mills is our highest mover, 14 spots up from where he started, up there in third place. We saw him making his way through the field, and right now he's only about a second and a tenth behind Dave Medina and Jason Landry.
See Nick using every part of the racetrack he can. He even gets up into the wall a little bit on the entrance of turn one.
Yeah, this racetrack has gotten wider since the start of the race. People trying to find grip and speed going into the corners.
13 trying to make a pass on the 2. Looks like he might get that inside position on Brandon. See if he can hold on to it off the exit. Still side by side. Great battle here to see who's going to take over P6 position. I think fuel window's around 44 laps, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you might be right there, Kevin. I don't remember that far back. I got short-term memory. That's how you know I'm a good race car driver, is I got a short-term memory.
Oh, is Brenner in the 73 get a little bump there, but no worse for wear? Might have slowed down to 73 a little bit as he gets back a hold of that control of that race car. With the 13 and the 2 still running side by side. No one's conceded this position yet, as they are just battling it out. Great job by the 2 drivers. Brandon doing a great job making that higher line work. Joseph's down there on that little strip of wherever they call, I'm not sure what they call it, Jared. That stuff they spread, PJ1 or TJ something.
The PJ1 or the resin.
There's the resin. Yes, the resin. Malarkey now makes a move in front of Brenner. Now looking to take over these 2, battling it out. He's trying to find a way around teammate Brandon Shelton. Justin does a great, just misses Joseph. He's going to try to get a running outside, but they're 3 wide here coming out of turn 4. Just barely missing each other. Avoiding disaster here as the pit window closes in, as we should be getting pit stops here soon.
Yeah, I think the pit window is open now. The 55, the 877, and the 868 down pit road. The first green flag pit stops we've seen under race conditions. Be interesting to see where those cycle out.
Ooh, Kevin Bullock up into the wall. Looks like the 31 now trying to get around Brandon Shelton, and David Brenner giving him a push.
David Brenner up there in the fence, just a little bit.
Yes, he tries to bring the battle back to Kevin Kyle in the 31. As Joseph Malarkey's going to try to keep that outside momentum rolling as he gets by David Owens now. Justin been saving his tires there for a while. You could tell now that he's got some speed, now trying to make some of that distance back up that he lost at the beginning. That's the 61 to Matt Schofield calling out his pit. He's coming from pitting from P15. Looks like Jake Ashea might is also as well. As the 3 wide coming across the start-finish line with lap 45 down in the books. Now it's Joseph Volpis and David Brenner. David Brenner coming out with a burst of speed from nowhere. Joseph Volpis, it looks like he's going to try to fight back on the inside. Thinks better of it, gets behind Brenner. Trying to get some of that fresh air on that car, but having a tough time finding totally clean air, as Brenner's doing a great job making it tough on Joseph to make that pass.
Jason Landry, our leader, is pitting in this lap. Lap 46. See if David Medina follows him in, or he's going to try and lead some more laps of this race. It looks like he's going to follow him. So our 2 leaders coming down pit road, and I believe that's going to leave Nick Mills out. to inherit the lead with Justin Malarkey right behind him. But pit road is busy. People hear that leader call out that they're pitting. Everybody wants to hop on that train. But here comes Nick Mills now coming down pit road. So looks like the pit window is roughly 42 to 50.
Takes the cone out. That was an innocent cone, Jared. As he's going to take that cone all the way down pit lane. That cone has not ever gone that fast before. That cone is going where no cone has ever gone before, Jared. As Mills is going to bring him all the way down pit lane. That number 11 starting spot.
It does look like our top three at the moment coming down pit road. Be interesting to see if Brandon Shelton going to stay out, get that lead the lap bonus point here at the start of the season. Hit the season off on the right foot, get some extra points. But I believe Brandon Shelton and Jake O'Shea, who's behind him, are the last two that need to pit before these pit cycles cycle through. Got some storylines from pit road, Kevin. On our 55 car, they say that right front tire was corded. So it was on the verge of blowing up, going flat. So they came down pit road at the right time. And Joe Vulpes losing a little bit of spots there on pit road. He's kind of in a mess right now, sitting there in, I believe it's P12. P14 is what it looks like on the timer. Still got to cycle through pit stops and everything. But he's got a fight ahead of him.
Speaking of the number 55, it looks like he's mired back in traffic right now as he's trying to get around Leclerc. Or no, Dumont. I'm sorry, Dumont and Kyle.
Say we watch this battle here for a little bit. I think something's going to generate from this, Kevin.
10-4.
But we do have some lap down cars, some lead lap cars in the mix here.
See David Brenner's car getting a little loose there.
This is the battle in the top 10. Right now, Dumont and Malarkey are the last two on that top 10, and Joe's trying to make his way in.
Oh, 14's going to make him go 3 wide. Justin gets a little nervous, has to back off of it. The 13 gets into the 85. Oh, we might have trouble.
Joe saves it there. But we're going to have to see if he can recover from this. He's got a little bit of damage on that nose of the car. I don't think that'll affect him aero-wise, but that probably didn't help his tires at all.
Owens and Brenner now going side by side, battling it out. With Justin Malarkey in tow.
Like there's a car blinking around him, maybe Dennis blinking in there a little bit.
Yeah, Looks like this might have been our old Dennis Puckett there. There's a shot.
I'm gonna be on.
Yeah, go ahead, Jared.
I was going to say, I'm going to be honest with you, Kevin. Joe Volpez, that didn't affect his tires at all. He's flying through the field right now, catching up to that number 17 car in the 01 of Kevin Bullock. Be interesting to see what he does with this speed. Looks like he's going to try and look to the outside of the 17. 17 really low on the racetrack. That's going to just minimize his entrance going in turn 3, and there goes the 13 around.
You can hear the frustration over the radio there from Joseph Volpez.
That right front is locked up. That's a broken suspension piece there, probably a spindle.
Oh,
there
definitely,
on the
Jared.
right front.
That car is probably killed, and that's going to ruin his day, because that's going to be at least a 6-minute repair. Probably that he's looking at is that's going to probably be the end of Joseph's day. As we go back and take a quick look at this, Jared, gonna slow it down, take a look, see exactly what might have took place there between the 13 and the fake 17, because our real 17 Sam Milliken. But let's take a look here as we slow it down on our Cavo K Vision as we slow this down.
The 17 really low on the racetrack there, going down the back straightaway. That's going to minimize and give him the disadvantage on the entry of the corner. And I think his car just gets really tight there and goes up the racetrack into number 13.
Yeah, for how much speed the 17's carrying in, he needed to slow it way down to be able to make that turn properly. But like you said, Jared, you go in there with too much heat and you try to hit the brakes, it's just too late, because you hit the brakes and you're just going to continue sliding up the track, because that tires cannot handle that as the 17 and 13. Now, was he part of that earlier incident with Joseph also, Jared?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
Probably. Maybe.
Sorry, Joe. I had to replay that part one more time, just for the lulls. Just for the lulls.
But pit stops happen here on lap 59, Kev, as a majority of the top 10 cars, top 15 coming down pit road. About 9 laps on their tires. They're going to get some fresh ones here and don't want to be at a disadvantage.
And for Jared, I'm picking them up right now as Landry and David Medina are hitting their pit stalls as we speak.
No words over that radio communication. Silence.
Oof. You can just hear the silence as
hear the cricket.
The old 31 just checking in on his buddy after the little contact earlier in the race, make sure you're okay, but just a silent type.
Yeah. He wants to know what's happening. He wants to know if he hurt him or not.
Because I had some damage. I'm not gonna lie. Had about 45 seconds of damage.
Tell you what, that 55 car could have had a lot of damage, but didn't. Saved it.
Yeah, well, 55 cars should give some more room on the outside lane when he's gonna get beat.
Well, he was also on the bottom of the racetrack.
As we get back under organized here.
Under organized.
Is
that what you call your trophy making?
Yes, that should be
under organized.
Second name for it, definitely.
KK Woodscapes under organized.
That's the subdivision.
Under organized by Kevin and Kim Kyle.
There you go.
Actually,
I have a commercial.
That's a bad abbreviation for that last part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that back.
And hey, if anybody has any sponsorship ideas, or you guys want to have little ads or videos, we might show them here for a donation to help support Jared in taking his next driver 69 class. So if anybody would like to have an ad or advertisement or a shout out here on the cast, just let us know. As looks like David Medina is going to give Jason Landry some business up there in front, as he dislikes maybe that new paint job Jason Landry's running.
Or maybe they're just throwing it back to what they were doing in that first heat race, or that second heat race. Because Jax Duvall's up there too. These trio of bumpers. Jason likes getting pushed around. That's the thing about the Canadian and that number 50 car. He likes being pushed around by these fellow drivers.
That's what I hear. The Canadians like taking it in the rear, Jared, as we get ready to go green flag racing. Nope, not just yet, but that pace car lights are still on. Looks like they might be doing the choose rule. Is this year we are able to choose high or low lane for the starting car. Jared,
I
in
think
another...
we've been able to do that.
Yeah,
I think we've been able to do that.
Yeah, last couple seasons, it's, something kind of new. But Jared, speaking of that choose rule, I saw another league. They actually have a car dedicated to the choose rule. The driver actually drives out on track as the color of the cone and parks the car, and they choose as they go by him. It's really interesting. It's really cool. I mean, the dedication of that cone driver is something else, to have to be able to go out there and be a cone.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me enough money to be that cone. I want to be out on track, and I want to be going as fast as I can and winning races. It was hard being in the booth.
It is hard
when we were recording.
I know.
Recording live.
I know, it sucks.
You want to be out there on track.
Yep.
Especially with this group. It's what brought me back. I thought I was done. I thought I was broadcasting for the rest of my Bonfire career after I spun out on lap 1 when we got the next gen cars, but pace car lights are off. As I'm about to hiccup, you hear my voice went away.
Jared, turn 3 and 4, it looks like. Yeah.
Yep.
3 and 4.
But I'll let you call it here, Kev, as you are the main man behind the screens.
Yeah. All right, that Mustang's coming down pit road. Kyle Anott is going to be leading them down. Or was it Landry?
It's Lenot.
Okay, Kyle's going to be leading them here to the Geico restart zone. All right, Kyle's going to hit that zone. Away he goes across the start-finish line. Not the greatest jump in the world as he gets started. As Jax Ball and Landry. Landry had a little bit better of a little lackluster start, as Jax Ball now is going to be drawn even to him on the outside of turn 2.
And news from pit road, Nick Mills having to serve a 40-second penalty for speeding down pit road under green, so that's going to send that 88 car to the back of the pack.
That's unfortunate. And you can see the number 12 Taki's machine having some internet issues as with this being reported and seen here from up in the booth. Maybe a little too much Taki's dust on the Wi-Fi connection there as he tries to get that under control. 14 getting on the back bumper to 73 as he dives it down underneath him out of turn 3. But is it going to be enough? The 55 now making a move on David Medina Sr. Going to try to take over that spot for P5.
Doesn't look like that top line going through 1 and 2 is just that great as it is 3 and 4. Doesn't really have any advantage to it.
Jared, I'm going to go get myself a beverage, check on my wife, and I'll be right back, but it's on exciting, so hopefully something exciting gets caught. Okay.
I'll see if I'm lucky, and if I hit exciting, what pops up for me. Looks like it's the same watching David Brenner, as he's got Chris Small right behind him in that 5 car. 2 Bonfire Cup veterans. Both been racing here for a significant amount of time. One a champion and one looking for some race wins. I don't think David Brenner's ever won a Bonfire race. I could be wrong. I'll have to go back into the record books. And if he has one, I'm gonna have to brush some dust off of that trophy. But it looks like he's just being consistent, running his line. Trying not to hurt those tires too much, not trying to catch the 877. I believe that's Stephen McComas. Also in that Dodge. Well, two wide action up there with Justin Malarkey and the 14 of Mark Dumont. So we can see further up ahead. Looks like Justin's going to let him go. Here comes Stephen McComas up there side by side, or close to side by side with Justin Malarkey. But I see multiple two wide actions, but iRacing says David Brenner is the most exciting thing happening on track right now. It switches to Chris Morrill. Now it's back to Brenner. So these two guys, these veterans, they're the most exciting thing happening right now. But there's a two wide battle up for the lead, but I don't have the powers over the camera, so we're gonna have to see it in these wide shots. See how it comes to be. But Jack Duvall in the 84 to the lead, up there ahead in our wide angle shots. With Jason Landry only 3/10 behind him, battling out with Kyle Lynott. Now we're closer up front on David Medina in that 9 car behind this top 4 battle. As the 55 goes to the outside of Kyle Lynott in the 989 or the 88. I can't even read that number. His car is going too fast. 988, that's what it is. But back with Brandon Shelton and Kevin Bullock, 2 teammates. We saw that incident that Kevin Bullock had with his teammate Justin Malarkey in that second heat race. Luckily, they're able to pull out the backup car and get him back going. Able to do it in a quick amount of time, as that break between the second heat race and the feature was only about 10 seconds. So his team was on it, almost like they knew it was happening. But Dave Medina and Mark Dumont battling it out there for that top 5 spot. Newcomer Mark Dumont does not know what he's in for with being on the outside of that 9 car. It's cold, it's funky, it's David Medina in that 9. Kevin Bullock and Brandon Shelton still battling it out for that 13th spot, or the 12th spot. Trying to catch up to Sam Milliken in the real 17 car. I'll tell you what, those 17 cars, they look very similar to each other. It'd be hard to point them out. But not on the camera, the number 55 and the 50 taking over those top 2 spots. That duo from last season able to lead this race, but Jack Duvall trying to battle back. And Dave Medina is going to try to make his way up through this top 4 to try and get up there. Jack Duvall and Kyle Lynott on the outside, Kelly and Landry on the inside.
Jared, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had a phone call. But where are you at now? What are you taking a look at?
Well, we're on board with Dave Medina, but we're seeing the battle up front between the 55 and the 84 Jax Duval.
Oh, it is
55 able to get that lead over Jax with help from his partner in crime, the number 50.
Yeah, but great battle up here with some cars we don't always see up front with Jax Duval, and we do see Kyle up front a lot last season. He was one of the prominent guys that won a couple races up there up front, giving everyone a run for their money, and along with the number 55 at Kelly, as these guys are almost going 4 wide as they try to get this stuff straightened out. But like you said, you're going to get a push there from Jason. He's usually the one getting hit from behind. This time, Jared, you're getting hit from behind, and it looks like it's starting to work out.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, Kev. I like being the one to push. I don't like being pushed. But I'll take it any chance I get to lead some laps here in these races. These races, they're high profile here in the Bonfire Series. You want to win a cup race and you want to win a cup championship in the Bonfire Series. There's a lot of prestige that goes along with those. And a lot of bragging rights.
You got a little bump there from Jax.
Everybody likes hitting the rear of that 55 car. But Jax owes me one in a not a good way from the MRL series as I blink off screen for a little bit. Just a strategic blink.
And that really throws off the cameras. Like it just shoots me right to spectate on the camera controls, and then I gotta like hit another camera, get us back to the action. And really notice I forgot it changes the camera even like that.
But this top 7 is starting to heat up. Under a second is the top 7 of this race. Got a really good draft going down the back straightaway if you're lucky, and you gotta be fast in these corners. But expect these drivers to pit maybe around lap 110. I think would be the latest. But actually, that might be the earliest because that'd be in the window to make it to the end on fuel.
And what lap would that be again there Jared?
Lap 110, so.
Man. Jason almost got into that left rear quarter fender of Jax, but I mean, Jax is really slowing down here. He's slowing down to take that higher lane, but it doesn't look like it's going to help out as Jason's going to get the advantage and get up in front of him.
Yeah, I can tell you what, if you get into the quarter panel of that Goldfish car, the driver will not be smiling back.
Even though it is the snack that smiles back, the driver would not be. Kyle go back underneath. Jason's really backing up that corner for that exit. But that's also helping him save his tires as Kyle almost gets up into the 5-0. You can see him have a little bit of wiggle, and now he's just dropping a lot of speed and momentum as he's going to now be back between Malarkey and 84 Jax Duval. Duval holding on to third right now. But you have two big hitters there with Justin Malarkey and David Medina Sr., both winners of races in this league. So they are just waiting, biding their time.
Yeah, right now, I won't say it's a team running up front. There's nothing official there, but you got the golf course racing team and the FOCM team there with Justin Malarkey and Dave Medina. Then you also got the privateer of Mark Dumont, all up in this top 7 battle. But I think you can always get a hint on who the players are going to be this season from the races here at Kentucky. You can tell who's ready to make their worth here in the Bonfire Series, and it's a good hint to see how the season's going to go.
It's got a lot. Pulls down low. Now side by side with Jason. Going to be coming into turn 1. Trying to make a pass. Trying to get position over Landry. He's been battling for the last couple laps. See if he can make it stick. You see some damage on the right front of that Ford Mustang from Kyle. Kyle's going to put everything he can into this pass. Try to get around Kelly, but Kelly's hanging on to dear life. Malarkey coming up real wide. Trying to stay away from Dumont.
Kyle and I retaking the lead there on lap 86. Oh, and Justin had to get on the brakes there. Saw it through the center of the corner. Jason slowed him up just a little bit.
14's getting a little restless there. I could just see it in the car language of, as they almost touched there. 1484 almost getting together there in front of David Medina. Medina's probably thinking to himself he needs to get around these two. So before he gets caught up in any issues or wrecks there. But he has no time to waste. Now Jason Landry using that real low line. Looks like Malarkey's thinking taking them 3 wide. Thinks better. Going to get behind Jason Landry now.
As he shoots to the bottom there going into 1.
The 14 seems to have speed, Jared, but he just doesn't seem to take his runs at the right spot, or he gets caught up in some traffic and it kind of ruins his run. As you can see, being able to have clean traffic, clean air in front of you, clean lanes to run your race really pay off here, as Landry now has a little bit of a gap over Malarkey and company. Kyle will not take off the races. He's got a little bit over under a half a second lead.
Yeah, we're about, I think, 10 laps away, maybe 15 away from starting to see pit stops. So the tires are at their worst right now. You can see who has the long run speed.
Let's check in with David Brenner here. He's running some fast times so far. And he's up here in P7 from Brenner. Owen's now looking to make a move around the 55. Jared, are you just losing tire, or is it just or are you taking it easy on the tires?
You know, I think I'm just, I think I'm low on tires. I mean, was pushing them really hard there. Jason obviously giving me a shove, just not overall pace in that 55 car. So, but it's a hard racetrack to save your tires here. You just have to have overall pace and consistency at Kentucky, and we're starting. We see that here within our top 15. Obviously, the top 16 make the playoffs here. Then it goes down to the 8 and then the 4, or the 10 and then the 8 and the 4. I can't remember. I think it's 16, right?
16.
Or is it 12?
Shit, it's 16.
12, 8, and 4? I don't know.
It'd be something like that. It might be 12.
Whatever.
It might be 12.
It's too early in the season to talk about playoffs. Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Jared, you got any big plans there for the big game this Sunday?
Yeah, root against Taylor Swift. Thank goodness she's not dating a Cup driver.
Man, you guys are just all haters.
I'm not a Swiftie, man.
Just gotta shake it off.
I'm not about that game.
Just gotta shake it off.
Yeah, well, when you win a race, I'll shake it off.
3 wide there between Sam, Jackson, Jared there as the 5 now catches up to the 55. Kelly dropping back to P10. Jared looks like he's just hanging on to that car as best he can until he gets some fresh tires on it and gets a reset.
Yeah, just the momentum's not there through the corner there in 3 and 4. But he's sitting right there with Jack Savall, who is battling up in the lead with him.
Jack's reminding you that he's there behind you. He looks like he's got a little bit of a run, tries to go inside, trying to make that thread the needle between you and Kevin Bullock, and he does successfully. Going to try to continue that run and get by to make that position, but he's going to have a tough time here. See if he can make it stick coming into turn 1. Straddles that PJ1 resin and is able to make the pass for now as they chase down Chris Morrill, the number 5 car, holding on the P9. Further up in the field, we have David Owens. David Owens chasing down David Brenner with the 14 of Dumont behind him in tow, and Sam Milliken having a great race in that Ray-Ban number 17 Chevy Camaro. Kyle Lynott now falling back to P3, it looks like, after David Medina Sr. passed him and Landry passed him for the lead. Kyle's now comfortably in P3 with Justin Malarkey breathing down his neck in P4 as we get ready to hit some green flag pit windows soon.
Yeah, about 6 laps to go till we start seeing these leaders on the lead lap pit. We already see a couple of guys who are kind of off strategy, maybe a lap down, starting to pit, just trying to see if they can get lucky, get some track position. But the 55 does come down pit road. So maybe the fuel window's open. Maybe it's 55 laps is the fuel window. So it's going to try and stretch it over the next 65 laps. I said 55 laps. I meant 65 laps. Obviously, there's a reason to the madness. But if you can get out on a clean track and not in some traffic and run some fast laps, you can try and get ahead of the leader when they come in for their stop. David Medina catching our leader, Jason Landry.
Jason's a little bit of a talker out there on the track. He likes to get in the minds of his opponents.
I can tell you for a fact he definitely when he's focused he doesn't want to talk. So right now he's not as focused. It's not for a win yet. You still got a pit stop to come up. So it's not like it's 10 to go and he's concentrating. But for me, I never talk. I don't like talking in the races. That's why I never say anything, or I barely get on the radios. I'm always focused, trying to be precise with my race car and just focus on the track ahead.
That's a great story, Jared, as we get back to racing here. David Medina gaining on Jason Landry. He's right in his sights, as Landry said. So Landry might have burnt up his stuff there, Jared. But that looks like the battle right now for the win before pit stops commence. Justin Malarkey, though, second and a half back. Brenner doing a great job. Brenner showing that he's in P4 right now. Let's highlight David Brenner in that Puma power. And Sam Milliken running P5 right now. That's a great job, great run so far by these drivers. Kyle. Oh, I was going to say Kevin. I was going to say me. I just ran the same little bit faster lap time there than Jason Landry. But senior running real fast, 4.22.
Yeah, we have some pit stops. Sam Milk and Chris Morrill, Kevin Bullock in pit road right now. David Owens and Jeff Pfeiffer, or Mark Dumont and Jeff Pfeiffer coming out of pit road. Maybe the 11 also out of pit road. I see on my track map he's a little slow, so I think he came out of the pits too. So they're going to have 60 laps when we saw that 55 come in with 65 to go. So they're going to have 5 lap pressure tires and the old showboat. But Jason and Medina still staying out. Actually, Landry coming in. He's going to try and get in. He's got to get that car load up. I don't think he does.
Oh, a little bit of an issue there. Jared, we're going to check in with the stewards here and see if there might be an issue with speeding. Oh, another issue there between the 31 and Jared. He didn't catch that on film.
Yeah, the 31 coming up on him. Whoa.
I think the 31 was just looking in his mirror and not looking out the front window.
Dave Medina coming down pit road and back onto Jason Landry. That is a speeding penalty on the entry of pit road, so he's going to have to serve that under green flag position. So his chance for a win are most likely over unless there's a yellow.
Sure hope no one notices when you make a mistake like that. I hate, when you mess up and someone calls you out. So unfortunately there for Jason, though, that's going to set him back. He's going to need a lot of help.
After the 31 coming up, he's going to go down. Not sure what he's going down on, but not sure it's really that important. I don't think I want to know what he's going down on. Maybe Jason Landry in his pit stall.
Whoa, Jared, this is a family broadcast. Well, I'm not sure where this is headed, but let's get back to the action on the asphalt.
I see what you did there.
As we take a look in here at Kyle Lynott and Jackson Ball, 11 of them, Jason Malarkey on track. We got Kyle's going to be the leader after things cycle out. Kyle putting down some really fast times right now. He's running a 30.380. But some guys on fresher tires, we got almost sub 30 times. They're getting real close to it as the night gets colder and the track cools down.
Well, I think Jensick and Kyle Lynott still need to come down pit road.
Oh, and he gets called out there by David Owens.
Your worst nightmare right there. Hey now.
Oh, you can just hear the sympathy in David Owens' voice as he says that sucks. If you listen real quietly, I think you can almost hear a cheer from the driver's lounge as that penalty got called out on Landry.
Well, Kyle Lynott is getting really close to his pit window, I believe. It's showing me that he pitted on lap 101, but I don't quite believe it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He is running pretty competitive times right now, so I'm not sure what we have going on with Kyle.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there is one more pit stop. Maybe these drivers just wanted to get set. I can't remember. It was too long ago.
You can't, if we were thinking 44, 45 was the pit window, and then they had that caution, they top off. I think there's one more pit.
Yeah, I think there is one more pit. You're right, Kevin.
You're just trying to undercut. I think you're just like, hey, I'm going to pit early, and then I'm going to, pit early again.
Yeah, possibly. That's probably what I was doing. Almost like you knew what I was doing.
But yeah, Kyle Lynott doing a great job with some out there on those fresh tires. Not so fresh anymore, but we're 114 laps into this race.
See if we have any close battles on track. I believe Dave Medina and Justin Malarkey are nose to tail with David Owens in tow.
Or
I think there might be settling it out.
Like our buddy, speaking about nose to tail, just a big shout out there to Chris Morrill. Chris Morrill, who likes the good old nose to ass. That one time on the broadcast booth. Just shout out to him on that call. It was very funny. We had a good laugh about it.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I think it's when you were. I think it's when you were absent. You weren't feeling too well.
Really?
Or your head can fit through the. I think your head can fit through the production truck booth. I think that's what it was. You had to come back another day.
You'll have to send me that one.
Oh, it was a beauty. Yeah, still have internet connections there. 73 makes the move on Nick Mills. Mills, like you said earlier, had that incident with. He had a pit penalty. I think Mills did also.
Yeah.
So two high-profile drivers that won races and very competitive at top of echelon in the league. I'd say two massive penalties.
Champions.
Yeah, setting their day back here with this season opener. It's not the way they want to start the season.
Well, Brandon Shelton and Sam Milliken are in front of Chris Morrill there, running down the other 17. I tell you what, those two 17 cars, they look very similar. Kind of hard to tell which one's which. But the sponsors are different, so they got that going for them. It looks like Mark Dumont's got a little front end damage there in that 17 car. Now Chris on the rear bumper of the two. Mills coming down pit road.
Takes out the other cone. Nick Mills must have something against cones. Or maybe a cone might have... I don't want to even say it out loud. I'm not sure what that cone did to him, but that's the second cone he's taken out today in this race. So that's a notice for all you cones out on the tracks. Keep an eye out for that 88.
I hate to tell you it, Kevin, but Sonoma has a lot of cones, so they better watch out. See what other battles we have out on track. Kind of hard to tell. Maybe we go further back. Stephen McComas and Jake Cachet back there in P17 and 18. They're pretty close next to each other. Going to battle it out. Still a lot to fight for even back here.
Yeah, Jared, I mean, you got to try to do the very best each weekend. Because getting into the playoffs, if you miss it by a few points here or there, it's what it's all about. It's all these little points you could have collected throughout the season, and so it comes back to bite you in the butt. So, yeah, every position matters throughout the whole season for a lot of these drivers.
Dave Medina and Justin Malarkey up there in that third spot, close to side by side. David was looking to the inside there going into turn number one. But they are fighting there for that podium spot. Sean Jensick fell back just a little bit there. He's in the sixth spot in the number 19. But you got Justin, David, and David. They're in that top 5 as they try and track down Kyle and Knott in 55.
Yeah, Kyle doing a good job hanging on to that lead. A little bit of about 2.5 second lead so far over Jared Kelly. Kyle must have came in earlier, but you can see that tire, the undercut worked pretty well, but he is going to have to come in here sooner than the other drivers. So we'll see if he can hang on to this track position towards the end of the race, see how it all pans out for him.
About 40 to go here at the straight. So probably in that fuel window to make it to the end. Be interesting to see the different strategies that come out. Jason Landry sitting behind Dennis Puckett there for that lucky dog position if a caution were to come out. Right now, Dennis would be on the lead lap. Jason would have to fight another day and hope for another yellow. And the 55 shoots down pit road on lap 126, so he's going to try and stretch it by 40 laps. I think it worked for him earlier in the trucks. He's going to try and replicate it. Kevin Bullock in the 01 coming down pit road from the 13th position. So we are starting to see some differing strategies coming into play here at the end of this race. About 36 laps to go here once Kyle and Knott crosses the start-finish line. Starting to heat up here, Kevin.
Yes, sir. Seems like it's going to come down to a tire strategy or maybe even a fuel strategy here towards the end. See what some of these guys have in store.
Dave Medina and Justin Malarkey are tracking down Kyle and Knott, who is that leader right now. All drivers still have to make one more pit stop.
Yeah, Kyle Knott definitely slowed down there quite a bit. Jared, as he is on the older tires. Yeah, as its gap's now under 2 seconds. He's lost a half a second now to that lead.
At some point, you gotta pull the plug and come down pit road. You gotta get fresh tires. You gotta get that speed back. And I think the most important time to do is before your competitor. Try and get out in front of him, get that track position. as we look at the 5-lap average, the 55 who was came in on lap, I believe it was 126. He's the fastest car on track right now, and by that graph, it looks like by almost half a tenth.
Yeah, definitely see the difference there in the tire advantage.
Howland coming down pit road this time by. It's going to leave Dave Medina and Justin Malarkey out front. So about halfway, 31 laps for Kyle Lynott to make it to the end of this race. And Malarkey and Medina coming down pit road here. So our leader's pitting right now. We'll see who follows them. I believe David Owens also coming down pit road. So Sam Milliken going to inherit the lead right now. Get some bonus points. Chris Morrill coming down pit road this time by from the 3rd position.
Gains a lot of time there on Brenner. Comes to 77 now, coming down. Gets it rode down pit lane there, but good job there by Chris by gaining a lot of time there on David Brenner.
And David Medina back out on track. Gonna leave Mark Dumont and Stephen McComas and Jason Landry out on track still. So those three still need a pit, but looks like the 55 is gonna inherit the lead once they're done with pit stops. So the undercut probably gonna try and work in his favor here. Lead some laps. But if a caution were to come out right now, all those cars 1 lap down would have to take the wave around. Right now, Dave Medina hunting down Kyle Lynott there, our previous race leader. Before pit stop started to take place. Kyle just not able to get any advantage there, pitting 1 lap earlier.
Ooh, Kyle really pushing it hard in the corner, bumps the 14 out of the way of Dumont. Kyle does not have time to mess around. As you can tell, as he uses that front bumper on Dumont as he tries now to chase down the leaders or give him more distance between him and the leaders. He's trying to catch Jared Kelly right now.
Yeah, last time by, Dave Medina was a 10th faster than Kyle Lynott and the 55. So slowly making ground. Kyle Anott looks to be the fastest car on track, who's fighting for that win. So he's pushing that car really hard.
Yeah, we got 24 laps left in the race. It is winding down here.
is really hoping that if these two get close to each other, they slow each other down, make them lose pace, make them use some extra tire. The gap's now 3.7 between Lynott and Kelly. Track's starting to cool off now.
Hey, Jared, on your scoring table, who's the show in the lead?
Mark Dumont is still in the lead.
Okay.
Him and Steven McComas still need to come down pit road. I think it'll be roughly anytime soon.
Kyle Anott, you can see 55 now entering turn 3 from his window.
Yeah, but Kyle's got 2 lap cars in front of him. 97 and the 31.
Make sure work of the 97. Car do you have underneath you there, Jared? Who's racing you?
Good question. I don't know. That is the 57 of Thomas Fox.
Okay, so Thomas Fox, Kevin Kyle, it's all the stands in the way of Kyle Anott as Kyle Anott tries to chase down that 55.
About 2 seconds separate them with 18 laps to go. There's still a lot of race left. Last time by Kyle Anott was a 10th faster than the 55, but he's going to need 2 tenths to be able to catch him for the last lap. So he's making short work. 57 passing the 55. That's going to slow him up just a bit. As now the 988. Yeah.
Slowed him up a little bit there by the 31, but I don't think it was enough to cause him too much damage. Nothing on purpose there. Is Kyle's just got one more car to get Jared. Oh, I'm sorry. Thomas gets by you there, Jared, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. It's a nail biter, this one.
Yeah, 15 laps to go here.
And Dave Medina is still with a fast race car underneath him, faster than both these 2 leaders. But don't look now, Dave Medina is only 6 tenths behind Kyle Anott, so if these two get battling, they're going to have to hold each other up for there to be light at the end of the tunnel for that 55 on old tires. Almost 7 laps separating these tires between P1 and 2. To go. Gap's under a second.
David's really closing the distance up on Kyle Lynott right now. He's on board with David.
Yeah, they're both gonna have to lose a lot of lap time. They gotta battle hard. Doesn't slow either of them down. Dave Medina almost 3/10 faster than the 55. He's coming.
Underneath Kyle. Kyle isn't able to get there in time. He gets underneath the 988. That's going to be all he needs to get side by side. Looks like he's going to have the momentum going in turn 1 and definitely the tires in turn 3 and 4 to make it stick and make the passes. Now he's got to set sight on the 55. Jared Kelly, the leader of the race right now. Jared's going to do all he can to aero block David, give him as much dirty air as he can to hold him off for as long as he can, as Jared's only got 11 laps left now, 10 laps left to hold on to the win.
Undercut not quite working as Dave Medina now on the rear bumper going through 3 and 4.
Jared dives it down low, pinches him just a tiny bit to try to side draft him as much as he can, but I don't think it's going to be any match for these tires through these corners, as David Medina is going to take the lead over from Jared Kelly and take over P1 with only 10 laps left in the race, as they're going to come to the line with 9 to go at the line. Now Jared's going to try to hold on to P2 as Kyle Lynott now looks to get underneath Jared, but isn't able to make it happen. Not this time by, but Kyle does look to have a little more pace than Jared right now.
Kyle's gonna look to the inside there, going into turn 3. He's got the tires to do it. But right now, it's smooth sailing for David Medina up front. But David Owens and Justin Malarkey are nose to tail there going through 3 and 4.
Who's that in the 97, Jared?
That, I believe, Richard Swingle. I think he's a teammate to David Owens, so might be trying to hold up the 73 there just a little bit. I think he's on a different range strategy there as he blinks on and off. Obviously on a different internet provider.
Yeah. Oh, this race is winding down, Jared. 5 laps to go. David Medina Sr. looks like he's got a commanding lead over Kyle Lynott. Kyle Lynott's comfortably in P2. Jared Kelly holding on to P3 right now with all he's got. As David Owens is starting to pick up the pace and make that gap smaller and smaller each lap as it goes by, as he's trying to chase down that 55 for a podium position. Justin Malarkey not too far off of David Owens, is right on his back bumper. That is the race we have right now, folks, as everyone else is pretty much settled in. This is the battle to watch, the 11 and the 73.
And some cars that have some fresh tires there in the mix too. Might slow them up just a hair. Get them off their preferred racing line.
Richard Swingle. Kyle's going to let Swingle go on by. David Owens and company getting even ever closer. Jared's got 2 more laps to hang on to this. The 73 and 11 are looking for any mistake, any bobble, and they have to find a way to work around this 5-5. David gets to the right rear quarter fender of the 5-5. He's going to go outside. Justin Malarkey going to follow back behind Jared Kelly. He's trying to figure out who's got the more pace right now, who's got the momentum. As David's now going to saddle side by side, has not cleared the 55 as they head into turns 1s and 2 with 2 laps left here to go. Owens gets past him, and Jared might lose another spot to Justin Malarkey, but he's hanging on to everything he's got here. David Medina gets it's the white flag for David Medina, I believe, Jared.
Yeah, almost 3 seconds in front of Kyle Lynott there.
Okay.
David Owens and Justin Malarkey are still fighting side by side. Malarkey to that 3rd spot, that podium spot.
Yeah, it looks like Justin Malarkey let Owens make the hole for him. He followed him through and was able to take advantage as he comes around 3 and 4. Going to probably take that P3 away from David Owens. Jared Kelly does a great job holding on to P5.
Yeah, David Medina crossing the start-finish line in that 1st spot. Kyle Lynott in 2nd. Justin Malarkey 3rd. David Owens 11th. The 55 in 5th. David Brenner 6th. Sam Milliken 7th. Jack Duvall in 8th. Shelton in 9th, and Chris Smurl in the top 10. But I think we got to go to Dave Medina. He's got some burnouts to do. Donuts sponsored by your local donut shop here in Kentucky. Fan favorite for that number 12 car with Dennis Puckett. And it's a local donut shop there for old Dennis.
Well, don't be afraid to say the name there, Jared. What's the name of that donut shop?
Kentucky Donuts.
Kentucky Donuts. That's very original, Jared.
Yep.
Well, we'll have to get in touch with Kentucky Donuts and see if we can get some deals done. Because over here, we're always looking for new partnerships. But Jared, great call today. This is the longest race of the season. It was a good race, a lot of strategy in this one. But David Medina comes out on top, brings home the win there for Team Folcom in that number 9 Ford Mustang.
You know, I would think with Dave Medina, with how many times he's won, he would know how to do a really smoky burnout. Not enough smoke.
I think we just gotta wait for another update, or maybe he needs another trophy on the back.
Yeah, I think all that bronze or that gold back there is weighing the rear end down.
Jared, do you still have any more shirts for sale there with your dirt car?
I still do. I've got plenty of shirts from adult small to 3XL. So yeah, just get in touch with me on Discord if you want one. It's with the car on last year. It's got the Bonfire logo on it. But
nice
yeah,
shirt.
we still got plenty of shirts.
Yeah, I ordered one, Jared. It's very good quality, and it's one of my favorite shirts that I wipe my car. I mean, that I wear, Jared. It's one of my favorite shirts that I wear. But in all honesty, it is. It's really good quality, great graphics. So I do recommend support your local dirt track racer, and if you don't have one, then adopt Jared Kelly. Check out our Sunday Night Skippy series with Pim over there on the Cavo OK Network. And what else we got going on? Also, you guys, as you guys all probably know, Bonfire Racing League does Tuesday Night Truck Series. We also have our sister league. I always call them Monday, but it's Mayhem. Or what's the
Monday Moonlight?
Moonlight. I always get there's too many M's. I can't. I've known it forever. I have engraved it. I get confused. But yeah, thank you, Jared, for saving me on that one. Could not think of it. But they have a bunch of series throughout the week. Also, if you guys are ever interested in getting involved with us or the league, just get a hold of us through Discord. And we appreciate you all. And Jared, you got anything here left to leave here before we get out of here?
Well, I know if I start talking about myself, you're going to cut the stream off. But yeah, just good racing. And we're going to keep on trying to get these broadcasts done, as we're now 2 races behind. We'll try and get them done as quickly as we can, because I know all the Bonfire guys love watching them and love hearing my beautiful voice.
That's right, Jared. And if you guys do watch, please give us a thumbs up, middle finger if it's on there on the YouTube thing, whatever you can to support us. We appreciate it. And till next time, this is Kevin Kyle for Jared Kelly. You guys all have a great night. God bless, and we'll see you. We'll see you on the next one.